I believe so much in my First Amendment right. My son died in combat fighting for our rights to free speech, and that's why I want to stand up for my right to political speech, anti-incumbent speech, and the people of St. Johns County.
An update on a story we've been following for you regarding disagreement among St. Johns County commissioners.
St. Johns County Commissioner Krista Joseph had been involved in legal wranglings with the rest of the Board of Commissioners since November when she told residents during a commission meeting that if they don't like how the county is governed, there is an upcoming election. She whipped out information from the Supervisor of Elections office and waved an American flag. Her remarks that day resulted in the rest of the commission publicly censuring her and hiring an outside attorney to investigate her statements. The county released a statement in January saying it is undeniable that Commissioner Joseph was using her official authority and influence to make the election-related comments. It was clearly making a campaign speech. A reasonable fact finder is likely to conclude that her behavior was willful and remained so. Other news outlets have reported that 8th Judicial Circuit State Attorney Brian Kramer is recommending a St. Johns County grand jury decide if Keating Joseph should face charges. But she told St. Augustine's Local News,
I have a motion currently pending in the federal court asking the court to decide whether my speech is protected by the First Amendment. And I really think it's extremely unlikely that the state attorney would institute criminal charges against me while waiting for the court to decide my First Amendment issue, especially so close to the primary election. I feel that the state attorney's theory is that it was criminal for me to interfere with the election by waving an American flag in November and informing voters that if they didn't like what was happening in the county, that they could vote.
In addition, we reached out to the state attorney, but haven't received a response yet. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
We're going to tell the truth about communism in the state of Florida. We're going to tell the truth about the unprecedented death toll of the 20th century at the hands of communist tyranny.
Liz Ryan continues her week-long series on new Florida laws with a look at one that will change how kids learn history.
Lawmakers overwhelmingly approved a bill that will require children be taught about the history of communism beginning in the 2026 school year. Governor DeSantis spoke about communism's death toll.
100 million killed at the hands of communist regimes spreading from China to the Soviet Union to Cuba.
This is what the new law requires.
45 minutes of instruction in a U.S. government class on topics related to the history of communism. Things like Joseph Stalin and the Stalinist regime, Fidel Castro and the tyrannical Cuban regime. All of those topics are just providing the truth of what actually happened.
Students will learn about communism through the 12th grade, starting in kindergarten. A new law that didn't get overwhelming support provides a sort of stand your ground defense for people who shoot bears to defend themselves or their property. It does come with guidelines, though. Shooters have to notify the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission within 24 hours of a bear being killed. They're also prohibited from possessing or selling the bear carcass. Opponents of the bill say communities should focus rather on securing garbage so bears won't be attracted to homes. Tune in tomorrow for more of Florida's brand new laws. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
Yeah, we saw gas prices jump about 18 cents per gallon last week in the lead up to Independence Day.
Gas prices are climbing higher. St. Augustine's Local Morning News talks to AAA about what's driving the price at the pump.
AAA's Mark Jenkins says part of the reason for the jump is optimism over the potential the Fed will lower interest rates. Another factor, the active tropics.
One of the other drivers was likely Hurricane Tropical Storm Beryl and its potential impacts on the Texas coastline. Of course, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, this is an area that's rich with refineries providing about half of the refining capacity for the entire country, especially here in Florida. The majority of Florida's gasoline comes from the Gulf coastline.
Jenkins says any disruption to production will likely lead to a rise in gas prices.
The concerns about Beryl was likely baked into last week's price hike. So far today, oil and gasoline futures are holding steady at where they were to finish last week.
Jenkins says it could take days to determine what Beryl's impact will be on prices here. To check gas prices near you, visit gaspricesAAA.com. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's local morning news. I'm Rich Carroll.